Hello, everyone. I am Martinez-Bateman. I'm the CEO of New Coyote Consulting. We are an equity and communications firm here in the Pacific Northwest. That means we talk to people about how to talk to people about equity. We do trainings on equity communications. We do coaching around equity communications. We rewrite communications so that they center equity. We teach people how to rewrite communications, center communications on equity, and rewrite those communications so they center on equity, etc., etc. It is, of course, a Thursday update. On Monday, I tell you my intentions. On Thursday, I come and I tell you how I did. This is like the fourth time I'm recording this. I had just like every random, the sun, and then the messages, and then a thing that needed to happen just going on. So that is why you are getting this energy right now. I'm sorry, it's just where I'm at. Anyway, Thursday update. Monday, I said that I was going to center self-care and invest in community. And I think that I did really good on that. Two sort of like major things came up for me this week. One, on Monday, I had agreed to do something this weekend that I then later discovered a couple of things. That, one, my circumstances changed, and so I didn't really have a lot of bandwidth for the thing this weekend. And two, I learned more about the weekend activity that was going to be even more involved than I thought, like way more involved than I thought it was going to be when I agreed to do it. I felt pretty conflicted, backing out and saying like, no, I'm not going to do it. There was a lot of sort of like feelings about people depending on me, stuff that is big for me. I really like to be reliable. Integrity is one of my core values. And also I've had several conversations lately, and by lately, I mean like over the last couple of years, and honestly, like starting before then, about how if integrity truly is one of my core values, then my first sort of duty of integrity is to myself, and I cannot rob Peter to pay Paul. Like I cannot take away my safety, my energy, my availability. I cannot negatively impact my resources and my ability to get resources for someone else. That's not integrity. That's like martyrdom. So I texted with a bunch of friends, talked to my husband, got a lot of reassurance. Thank you, friends, by the way. And said, I'm sorry, I can't do this. I said I could, and I can't. My bad. And, no one's very happy when you back out of things you said you were going to do. And also, I think I averted some serious disaster in everyone's lives by doing that. I think it was a safety issue for me. So, that was a big sort of like standing by myself, taking care of myself, not abandoning myself, stating my needs clearly, stating my boundaries situation. And then the other thing I did this week is, I think I've talked about it in other videos, I have been noticing that the only time I can get writing done lately, and by lately I mean like probably maybe forever, honestly, like maybe this is my whole life, maybe I've always been like this, who knows? I wasn't paying attention until recently, I can tell you that. I write best in the middle of the night. After 10, after 11, that's when I'm really good at writing and I can sit down and write for hours. But I was doing this thing where I was like, no, I said that my work hours were between 2 and 8 p.m. If I can't write during that time, I'm not going to work outside of work hours. And so I was sort of trying to force myself to work during work hours, but then of course I wouldn't be able to because my brain is just not there for it. So then I would like make myself work. Honestly, I was not being productive. I was not doing things that move this company forward. I was just kind of forcing myself to be in this office. I would make myself work when I had writing due, and then I would leave work, and then I would go, have the whole evening routine with my husband and my family. And then after he went to sleep, I would do the writing that was required, but already I had worked a full day. And so I would be exhausted, and then I would feel bad about the fact that I was working outside of work hours when I'm like literally not working outside of work hours is like my brand, which, that's a lot of hooey. I don't know I have a weird relationship as a communications professional with the concept of personal branding, and also I do it. So we could have a deeper conversation about that if you want. But anyway, long story short, this week I had a bunch of writing to do for a bunch of different people, and I was like very proactive about that. I left work early. I took afternoon naps. I did my evening routine with my husband and my pets. And then after everyone was asleep, I sat and did my writing, and I felt like it was good product. And then I was able to sort of like do all the admin stuff around it before everyone left for the day, and then just do the writing, and then have time to do follow-up admin today and yesterday. And it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. I feel well taken care of. I feel like I made choices that worked for my body and my business. I don't feel exhausted, because I took that nap, and because then when I was writing, I wasn't already tired from the rest of the day. And then, I've gotten more done today as well. So choosing myself and my needs over, I guess the theme of this week is like, just because I said I was going to do this way doesn't mean that I have to continue to do it that way in the face of new information, or in the face of a changed environment, or in the face of other circumstances. Having integrity has to start with having integrity with myself, which means that I take care of myself and I show up a whole person, because whatever the fuck I care about, whatever I'm working on, whatever my clients need, it will not be better if I am diminished. It could only be worse if I'm operating from a space of being diminished. And it's easy to tell people, it's easy to tell myself, and it is very hard to remember to do that, because we're not taught that, and it's not reinforced in our culture. It really isn't. I also wanted to talk about the fact that it's the Transgender Day of Visibility. I am transgender. I am non-binary. I've been, visibly queer my whole life. I definitely got teased for being queer at school, and I've gotten various reactions from family members when I was growing up over it. And I didn't always have the language to say that I was non-binary. When I was young, I identified as genderqueer, and I didn't feel like that made me part of the transgender family, even though the white stripe in the middle of the trans flag is for genderqueer people and non-binary people and people who are outside of the gender binary in any way. As I got older, I realized that I was also agender, which means that I don't identify with any expression of gender. I honestly felt that everyone felt like this. And it was just sort of like up to everyone to choose whichever one they wanted to do or be. And I had several transgender friends growing up, and I still have several dear friends who are transgender, and I've been a part of the fight for gay and trans rights for many, many years. And, it never really occurred to me. It wasn't important to me. It wasn't a part of my life. It was annoying when people referred to me as being a woman or assumed things about me because of the type of body I have, but it wasn't like a big pain, and so I just sort of went on. Part of me reclaiming my space and reclaiming my needs is telling people that I am not a woman and I don't identify with being a woman, nor am I a man, nor do I identify with being a man. And it doesn't put me out that people assume that I'm female, but it's just not correct, really. So that's my little Transgender Day of Visibility speech. I think it's really important for us to be visible in the world. As CEOs, as staff people, as older people. I'm over 35. And the myth that this is like a kid thing or a young thing is just that. It's a complete and total myth. So happy T-Dove. Have a weekend. See y'all on Monday.